Hi friends, Krista here. Thanks for stopping by Books and Jams. I have decided that I am going to do a spoilery reading vlog for Pony by R.J. Palacio. This is our group read for middle grade March, and we have a discussion about it hopefully tonight. I'm hoping to read this book and finish it and get this video up on Wednesday morning, and then on Wednesday evening is our discussion of this book. Spoilery is a hard word to say. Spoilery reading vlogs is something that I do for my patrons every month with our patron book club book, and I thought I might give you a taste of what that's like. And if you like seeing these kinds of videos from me, maybe consider becoming a patron and you'll get one every month. But I'm really excited to read this book. I think doing this type of a vlog will help me to process as I'm reading, and then I'll have better things to talk about and think about for our discussion on Wednesday night. Going into this, I had very little expectation about the story itself. I know that it's a mashup of historical fiction and a Western and adventure and a little bit of fantasy. So I don't really know how to even describe the genre of this one from what I've heard. And I have also heard a ton of people say how much they love it. So my enjoyment expectation is very high. I'm hoping that I also love it as much as everybody else. So those are my initial expectations going in. I did just read the first two little mini chapters. I guess it's kind of divided up into parts, and then each part has these little sections that are numbered as well. I loved the pictures at the very beginning. Right away we meet Martin Bird and his son Silas. I think the date is maybe the mid 1800s. There's a little mini article about something that happened to a boy who got struck by lightning, basically, and the tree imprinted on his back. And then I liked the connection with Silas and his dad, how the dad was into photography and wanted to try to figure out how to do photography a different way based on what the lightning did to his son. So in this story, Silas is the boy who got the tree imprinted on his back because of the lightning. I love how when Mittenwool is introduced, the ghost that Silas talks to her and that talks to Silas, it's just kind of a given, like he exists. We don't know yet where he came from and why he and Silas can communicate. I don't think the dad hears Mittenwool because Silas repeated the different things that Mittenwool had said to him. Silas repeated those things to his dad. And then I'm curious about these horsemen that show up. Two of them come with their guns out. It's the middle of the night. It seems very sinister. They're coming across as, we're just paying a gentlemanly call. Our boss, Mr. whatever his name is, Olerenshaw, knows of you and wants your photography, and just a week's worth of your time will get you lots of money, basically. And Pa, or Martin, is like, get off my land. It's the middle of the night. Get out of here. And then, and they keep calling him Mac Boat. Like, who's Mac Boat? Why are you calling Martin Bird Mac Boat? Not the same person. Or is it? I don't know. We don't know what these guys are about, what they're doing. I can tell you that even just reading the first, 10 pages, it's not very much, but I'm intrigued. I want to know more. I like Silas and his dad, from what I can tell. I want to know who are these guys. I want to know more about Mittenwool. What is his deal? I'm very interested to keep going. So that is my initial thoughts on Pony. I will pop back in once I've read a little bit more. I am sitting here reading, listening to the wind howling outside, and really thankful that I don't have to go out today. I just finished part 1. The pony just showed up, and the kid, Silas, just decides he needs to go and just see if he can find his pa, his dad. Mittenwool tries to talk him out of it at first, and then says there's no use arguing with someone who feels something in their bones. But right at the beginning of chapter 2, there's a line that made me stop and think. It says, "It is strange the places one's mind goes to in unruly times." Isn't that true? Sometimes your mind will just think of the most random things at the most random times. And in this case, Silas is remembering his birth. Sketchy. I don't know how I feel about that. He's like, you may be tempted to think that Mitten will put these memories in my brain, but I just remember it piercingly well. Her eyes, Mama's eyes, and her smile. I'm like, okay, but no, no, you don't. So curious about that, but I don't think it's a big deal. I do like that line though. The places one's mind, it's strange the places one's mind will go to in unruly times. I think that there's some truth to that, but I'm going to keep reading. Well, I didn't get as much reading as I hoped to get done today, but I am just now finished with part 2, and Silas is in the woods. He meets this other guy, Enoch, farmer, who is a federal marshal looking for this counterfeiting ring, which is who took Silas's dad. But when Silas mentioned the name Macboat to Enoch, he got a reaction and said he was one of the best counterfeiters who ever was, type of a thing. And now I'm thinking, what if Silas's dad really is Macboat, but he changed his name to get out of the business because he got married and had a kid? Maybe. That's what I'm thinking. The woods, when he was first going into the woods, that was pretty creepy. And whatever it was that he was hearing, I'm like, okay, is this the fantastical part of this? Or is he really hearing something? Or PTSD from his lightning strike? But the same thing happened to him when last time he went into the woods with his dad. I don't know if it was a couple years before or what, but he heard those voices and scared himself so much that he passed out. His dad told him that he saw a bear, but he doesn't believe that really. I don't know. Very curious. And I'm also super curious about Mittenwool. I'm wondering what his role is. Like, is he a subconscious part of Silas to help with anxiety or something along those lines? Or is he really just a ghost? I don't know. So yeah, more questions than answers. I'm about 50 pages in, so I'm going to keep reading a little bit more tonight, but wanted to share my thoughts before I kept going. Whoa. I just got done with part 3, and that was a little creepy. So the voices that Silas was hearing in the woods were actually ghosts, and when he looked at the one, or when he moved out of the way or something, the one ghost woman looked at him because she realized he could see her, and her head was basically like pulpy and gross, shot off, whatever. And then all of the ghosts he gasped, and all of them turned to him, and then they all started coming towards him. Ah! I was not prepared for this to be slightly creepy like that. I mean, it's not super creepy, but a little bit. It was a little bit creepy. Oh man. I'm curious why Enoch Farmer had such a reaction to him saying that Mittenwool was a ghost, and what made him change his mind to let the kid come with him. I think he changed his mind because he realizes this kid really has nobody at home. I like the dad, how he just always would tell Silas how special he was, and the fact that he could talk to Mittenwool, he had to keep it to himself and not share it with everybody else, but he always let him know that made him special and he had greatness within him. And I thought that's kind of a cool, like, good job, Dad, supporting your little boy. Sad that the teacher at school immediately just punished him without really a cause, just because of the rumors that she had heard about him. That made me angry. Bad teacher. But yeah, I'm curious about these ghosts. Why can he hear them? And what purpose is behind it? I just don't know. I don't know. But I finished section 3. It's 10:15. I'm going to actually go to bed a little early. I was supposed to edit a video tonight and I didn't. So I'm going to get up in the morning and do it before church. So I'm going to go to bed slightly early for me. I'm usually like an 11 o'clock to bed person, but I'm going to go to bed early. So I will read some more tomorrow. Let you know what I think. I almost cried. I didn't, but almost. I just finished section 4, and a good chunk of it was about them building this telescope to try to capture the moon. The dad took a photo of it. Silas held the glass plate for like a second and dropped it, and it shattered. Oh, and he was so devastated. Oh, he was so devastated. But I just love how gracious the dad was. Obviously, like, it's just a picture, it doesn't matter. It was all about doing this thing together. He's like, there will be other moons, trying to soothe him. Oh my word. And I loved how it ended. That section ended with, looking back, I knew it wasn't the sun that lit the moon that night. It was Pa. Oh, I love their relationship. I still think the dad might be a former counterfeiter escaping his life. That's why they live out here in the middle of nowhere. And I don't think he ever would have ended up really going to London for this competition or whatever it was that they built the telescope for. But I guess I will have to wait and see. That just was a nice section of getting to know the dad and Silas's relationship a little bit better. And it started out in the woods still with Silas having just run away. And he thinks, I loved his thoughts about colonization and how they treated natives who were in the land first. And it's just about power and control. And yeah, he had really profound thoughts, and for someone so young, yeah, he was taught well. But I wonder if in the bog, a lot of those ghosts were native peoples. And I wonder if Mittenwool is as well. I don't know. All right, I'm going to keep going. So I'm hosting sprints right now on the computer. And I'm also reading ponies. So I'm going to have to mute myself every once in a while to share my thoughts. But I just read this paragraph about anticipation as Silas and Marshall Farmer are traveling. They're headed towards this ravine, and they get there, and he says, coming upon it so quickly this morning seemed both remarkable and unremarkable at the same time. I was somehow breathless, like I'd been running blind this whole way, and now suddenly the sun was bright in my eyes. Things were moving faster now. I could feel myself tingling, my senses heightened. We were here. I love that picture of anticipation. Like, it is both remarkable and unremarkable. Like, you're waiting, and then it happens, and you're so excited that it's happening, but also it's not a surprise. It's like, finally you're here. Like, that mix of emotions. I just think, I think that was just really well pictured. Like, it was a good picture of it. Like, you've been running this whole time blind, and now the sun was bright in your eyes. Like, I don't know. I just liked that a lot. I do find that some of his writing in here is definitely for older middle grade. There was one paragraph I'm like, what are you even saying? Just on the page or two before this. He was talking about the physics of something. I don't know. Oh, he was talking about Mittenwool and how he has made his peace with just that he doesn't understand or really know everything about him. But the words that he uses are definitely deeper vocabulary or harder vocabulary. I've made my peace with all the laws of physics that are broken and the unnatural biologies at play and the inconsistent proofs of Mittenwool's existence. I've made my peace with the delicate logic of his being and all of its fragile manifestations. The only thing I know with absolute certainty is that he's always been there for me, and that's all I need to know. I just liked that paragraph. I like when middle grade authors write up. Like, don't write down to kids, but they write up, and this is definitely, I think, written up. So I'm enjoying it still, and going to get back to reading. Was Marshall Farmer a ghost? Was he a ghost, Enoch? Where did he go? Why wasn't he on the Overlook when they came back? I think he was a ghost. I don't know. I really don't like Beauty Man, the deputy. Rude. He stuck his tongue out at a kid. Come on. Don't get so drawn into your emotions that you stick your tongue out at a little kid. Give me a break. Yeah, it's getting good. I'm more than halfway now. I'm on section 7. I'm just loving these chapters and the little quotes at the beginning of each chapter. Love. Really enjoying this. It's different. I don't know how to describe it. Kind of like a Western, kind of a little bit, what do you call ghosts? Fantastical? Not really. It's like a realistic world. I don't know, but I'm liking it. Whatever it is, I'm liking it. Okay, we are still doing sprints. I'm going to be so tired tomorrow. But I am on page 200 now. I just finished section 8. And let me tell you, the intensity has ramped up. The sheriff and the deputy, Beauty Man, horrible name, have bound up the brothers and set up the decoys, and we're at the mouth of the cave having a shootout. The sheriff's sister, who's a ghost, came down into the ravine as well, and Silas gave her a ride over to talk with the sheriff, but Silas just shot his gun and fell into the river because of the backlash from it. Not sure if he hit the man with the blue fingers or not, but I just wanted to say that I'm really enjoying this. I love the pacing of it right now. I feel like it's super intense. I feel like there's going to be some reveals or something towards the end that I'm just not sure of. I'm still trying to determine if Silas's dad is really Mac, what's his name? Not Bird. Martin Bird, Mac. I forget. It starts with a B. Because I'm like, the initials are the same. Part of me thinks he is. Glad we got to hear the backstory of when he met Silas's mom. But he was into like invitations, like lettering and stuff, calligraphy, which is like a good skill to have if you're a good counterfeiter. He recognized the typeface when he read that poem or memorized that poem that he read to his mom, and his memory was so good. So there's like all these little clues that I'm like, ooh, is he really Mac Boat? That was his name. Mac Boat. Is he really Mac Boat? I don't know. But I've just been told during my sprints tonight that the ending is going to make me cry. So I'm a little nervous to get to the ending, but we shall see. I just need to know, are they going to rescue the dad or not? Right now, Silas is floating down the river because he's in the rapids because this storm just like came up out of nowhere. Interesting. We'll see. Hey, I am still making my way through. I'm just starting chapter 10. 9 was really sad. Pa died in the midst of all that scuttle at the cave. I'm wondering what's up with the pony. Like, why is he so attached to Silas? I'm convinced that Enoch Farmer is definitely a ghost after he put his hands over the muzzle of Olerin Shaw when he was shooting at Pa. And I'm still not sure about Pa being Macboat or not. I don't think he is now. I keep going back and forth. I don't think he is now because Roof, the one guy who wouldn't stop talking in the cave, he is trying to save his own skin, and he said that he's the one that convinced the other guy that the photographer was Mac Boat because he also has Scottish heritage and stuff like that. So now I'm not so sure about that anymore. I think I was meant to believe it, but it's not true. I'm just so sad for Silas. Like, he really has nobody except his ghost friend Mittenwool and now this pony. What's going to happen? I still have about 50 pages or 30 pages. 50. I still have about 50 pages, and I just wonder what's going to happen because I feel like that was most definitely the climax. So where are we going from here? I don't know where we're going. I did not cry when Pa died. People told me I was going to cry, and I didn't cry. Maybe because I was told I was going to cry, but I was just really sad. I feel bad for Silas that he has nobody now. And I'm kind of touched that Beauty Man, the deputy, was so kind to Silas and kind of gave him a hug from behind and gave him someone to hold on to in the midst of that initial grief. I thought that was really kind of him. And the sheriff and the deputy are both being just sweet, trying to get Silas to eat a little bit and trying to just give him the space he needs. And yeah, I don't know. I just don't know where we're going from here, but I'm going to keep reading. I have about 20 minutes until nap time is over for the little girl that I'm watching this morning. So we'll see how far I can get before nap time ends. I do have another nap this afternoon, so I will finish this today. Most definitely. Why did Mittenwool make me cry when the dad dying didn't make me cry? Mittenwool, though, like real tears. Mittenwool haunting Olerin Shaw, Roscoe, And then when he took Silas's pinky finger, just like his dad used to do. That's the part that got me. There's more greatness in this pinky finger, just like his dad used to say to him. Oh, I love Mittenwool. I love him. It's like his guardian ghost. And we did learn that his mom, Silas's mom, did try to save a drowning boy once. So I'm assuming that's Mittenwool. But, oh man, that got me emotional. I was right. Marshall Farmer was a ghost. I was right about that. I'm very proud of that. I did get a little bit more weepy when Silas was crying. He finally let himself kind of break down, and that made me cry because I can't handle it when other people cry. And I can't believe I have to stop right now because I have to go get the little one up. I have maybe, how many pages left? I really just want to read the author's note. It's a lot of wrap up post climax of the story. I feel like there's a lot of wrap up. Well, I still have like 30 more pages, so I will finish it during afternoon nap, but it's good. I'm surprised the climax happened so early. Like, where are we going to go? I'm still wondering. I don't know, but I'm just glad that I was right about Enoch being a ghost. Go, Krista. Well, I just finished. I still need to read the author's note, but I just wanted to share my finishing thoughts here first. I did tear up a little bit at the end. I'm so glad we learned Mittenwool's story. And I was originally right about the dad. I did change my mind back and forth a couple times, but I was right that he was Mac Boat. I loved it. I loved that the sheriff took in Silas, sheriff and his wife, and that his wife had such a random coincidental connection to Silas's mom. I thought that was kind of cool. I love that he became friends with the deputy who started out being kind of a jerk. But they ended up being good friends. Oh, I loved when he went to go visit his grandmother and then he found the gold, which I thought was so cool. How nice that he remembered to bring the violin with him in the first place because it's the only thing he had of his mother. And it had the secret note inside of it. I love that he found the money and that he used the inheritance and his money to open a home for orphan children and called it the John Hills Home for orphan children. I liked this book a lot. I did. I think the one thing that I didn't absolutely love is that the climax was so intense and then there was a lot afterwards that didn't have that intensity to it. I feel like we were building to this big climactic scene, and then the aftermath was a little bit too drawn out for me, maybe. As much as I liked the things that happened in the ending, I did think it was a slight bit drawn out too much, but I did enjoy it. I think I'm giving it, I don't know, I'm kind of waffling between 4 and 5 stars. The writing was fabulous. The story, I think I'm going to give it 5 stars. Why not? It was really good. I really enjoyed it. Brought me to tears a couple times. I love how it kind of doesn't fit into any specific genre. I mean, it's kind of historical, but he sees ghosts, so there's the paranormal element. There's the Western kind of adventure feel to it. Yeah, it's a genre buster for sure. But I'm really excited to read the author's note now and learn a little bit more about her, I don't know, decisions, research, all that jazz. If I have anything else to add, I will hop back on one more time. But this was a really good one. It was really good. I don't really have much to add about the author's note other than she did a ton of research. A ton. So good. And I love how she kind of says the mother is the main character throughout all of this, even though she's off the page. She's like the driving force for all of the events that happen. I'm like, that made me think a little bit. But I loved this book and I'm very excited to talk about it with everybody tonight. Hopefully this is going up on Wednesday. So tonight, Wednesday evening, is our book chat about it. I hope that you enjoyed this spoilery vlog. This is something that I do every month, like I said, for my patrons. and just wanted to give you a little taste of it. I like reading books this way, stopping to share my thoughts along the way. It allows me to kind of process and predict things, and sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong, but that's the fun of it. I hope that you enjoy this book if you read it. I hope that you did not watch this vlog if you have not read it. And I will be talking to you in another video very soon. Bye.